Assalamualaikum and good day. My name is Nushazwani binti Muhammad Shahrul, and today I will be presenting an article critique titled Resolving Conflict in the Workplace and Why Common Sense Isn't Enough, written by Reval Sky. The article Resolving Conflict in the Workplace and Why Common Sense Isn't Enough explains that workplace conflict often happens because of unclear communication, unmet expectation, and assumption. The author argued that common sense is not enough because emotion and personal bias usually make conflict worse. Many managers also avoid difficult conversation, causing issues to escalate instead of improving. The article highlights that effective conflict resolution requires structure such as active listening, mutual questioning, and guided conversation. Another key point is the importance of neutral mediators. When conflict becomes complex or sensitive, a twin mediator helps both parties communicate civilly and fairly. Overall, the article showed that conflict can only be resolved effectively when organizations use structured skill, professional mediation, and supportive leadership. For my critical analysis, I will discuss three key points from the Forbes article and I will compare or support each point with evidence from UITM research that I choose. For the first point, is conflict often begin with poor communication. According to the Forbes article by Sky 2023, most workplace conflicts start because employees do not share the same understanding. When this happens, misunderstanding build up and eventually escalate into bigger issues. Without clear and structured communication, employees may create their own assumption. This argument is supported by a UITM case study titled Exploring the Conflict Management Process. The study by Shahrin, 2021, found that conflicts are resolved more effectively when organizations use formal communication, structures, and procedures. This means informal or unplanned communication is not enough. Clear guidelines and structured conversation are needed to prevent conflict from escalating. For point number 2, leadership power influences the intensity of conflict. Forbes suggests bringing in external mediator when conflict becomes too difficult to handle by Sky 2023. While mediation is helpful, it does not fix deeper issues if the conflict is actually caused by the leader's behavior. This point contrasts with the UITM study, The Influence of Leader Power on Interpersonal Conflict by Aziz 2021, found that misuse of authority, favoritism, and authoritarian leadership can directly create conflict. This means leaders must improve their behavior and ethics. For point number 3, personality, traits, and relationship quality affect conflict outcome. The Forbes article focuses heavily on training and structured techniques by Sky 2023. In reality, even skilled managers may struggle if employees are defensive, anxious, or already have a damaged relationship. This limitation is addressed in the UITM study by Shamsuddin 2023, which found that personality traits and the quality of relationship significantly influence conflict management styles and the outcomes. This shows that conflict is not just about technique, but also by the emotion, personality, and interpersonal connection. Now, I will explain the global and local context. For the local Malaysian context, I refer to the article The Influence of Workplace Environment and Conflict on Employees' Performance by Muhammad Abdul Qadir, 2024. The study shows that conflict inside Malaysian organizations directly reduces performance, motivation, and job satisfaction. We can see this clearly in a real Malaysian industry. For example, in Top Glove, conflict related to overtime pressure and poor working conditions cause stress, low morale, and high turnover. Similarly, in Malaysia Airlines, cabin crew have faced conflict involving shift scheduling and workload imbalance, which affected service quality. These cases support the UITM finding that workplace conflict in Malaysia has a real impact on productivity and retention. For the global context, I refer to the UITM study Work-Life Conflict and Employee Turnover Intention by Ahmad Khair Rizal in 2020. The study found that work-life conflict significantly increased employees' intention to quit. For example, Amazon workers often report burnout due to extreme workload, and Starbucks baristas face scheduling conflicts. Many of these workers eventually resign, which support the UITM finding that unresolved work-life conflicts lead to high turnover, not only in Malaysia, but all around the world. For my recommendation, I will use two UITM research articles that provide practical solution. The first recommendation is to implement mediation as a formal conflict resolution method. This is based on the UITM article implementing mediation as an alternative dispute resolution method in Malaysia by Halim 2021. The study explained that mediation is effective because it uses a neutral third party to guide communication, reduce emotional tension, and help both sides reach a fair agreement. First, companies can use external professional mediators, especially when disputes involve senior management or when neutrality is important. This also aligns with the Forbes article, which states that bringing in a mediator is not a weakness, but a strategic step. For the second, organization can create an internal mediation unit under the HR. This allows conflict to be addressed earlier before they escalate. The second recommendation is for managers to apply the correct conflict management stance. This is supported by the UITM article, Causes of Intercultural Conflict and Its Management Styles Among Sunway Students by Rahman in 2020. Although the study focuses on students, it provides a strong theoretical foundation for conflict styles that are widely used in workplace settings. Managers should adapt their approach depending on the situation instead of relying on one fixed style. For example, the collaborating style works best for a long-term relationship and creates a win-win solution. Meanwhile, the compromising style is useful when quick agreement is needed and both parties are willing to make small sacrifices. In conclusion, the article shows that workplace conflict cannot be solved with common sense only. Most conflict come from unclear communication, unmet expectation, and leadership issues. The analysis and real example highlight that conflict affect a performance, morale, and turnover both locally and globally. Therefore, organizations need structured approaches such as mediation, trained managers, and the right conflict management styles. Overall, effective conflict resolution requires proper skills, clear processes, and supportive leadership to maintain a healthy and productive workplace.